The Vanderpump Rules reunion had fans shocked by the revelations that James and Raquel haven't been intimate for over 2 years. We have a lot to get into. Hey guys, and welcome back to another shared news. We've got to talk about the dramatic part 1 of the Vanderpump Rules reunion. But before we get into it, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring that bell so you never miss out on any future videos. As always, I'm your host, Zachary Reality, and last night was part 1 of the Vanderpump Rules reunion. James and Raquel shared the shocking news with the group that they have ended their engagement and decided to part ways. Scheana, Ariana, Tom, Lisa Vanderpump, the whole group was stunned by this revelation. The cast wanted to offer their support as they could see it was not an easy decision that led them here. I mean, I think everybody was shocked, especially Tom and Ariana, who just went to Disney World with James and Raquel a couple days before the reunion. But James and Raquel ultimately had the conversation that they were parting ways the night before the reunion. And Raquel was kind of saying, James was saying that they really wanted to talk about it at the reunion because there was no point in pretending that they were still happy together. And then like a couple months later, you know, it's over. They kind of just wanted to like face it and just get it over with. So it was almost like the reunion put like a microscope on their relationship so that they can confront their issues. Because it's a long day. These Bravo reunions, you know, take 6, 7, 8, maybe even 10 hours. Like, there really is no faking happiness or faking anything at the reunion. All the truth comes to the light, and James and Raquel were very open and mature when they talked about it. They ultimately decided that they were not soulmates, and they grew out of love with each other. And like I said, I feel like they took a really mature approach to the situation and explained their feelings very eloquently. I feel like we were able to hear both sides, Raquel's side and James' side. And I mean, I really like them both. And I feel like they both, were, put into each other's life for a reason. And ultimately, things didn't work out. And I mean, it was 5 years. So that is a very long time to be together. But the last couple of years have not been super easy. So let's get into this revelation because Raquel shared that her and James have not been intimate in over 2 years on the reunion. Raquel says they have not had sex since James sent those rage texts on season 8. And we know that Vanderpump Rules took a year off for the pandemic. So 2 years of no intimacy, that definitely seems like a very long time. I did talk with James myself, and he told me that they were, having sex every couple of months or every month or so. So maybe that part was kind of edited out on the show or twisted, but the relationship has just not been on course the past couple of years. And I kind of feel like they felt pressured to stay together because of the show. I mean, this is their jobs. They have this friend group. They're in the limelight. So maybe they felt like they had to kind of stay together, and they were still growing up in their 20s. So they probably just got caught up in everything. And Raquel did admit to that during the Vanderpump Rules reunion, saying she did get caught up being all about James and the Hollywood life, trying to be a model. And I feel like Raquel, she mentioned that she wants to step away from the spotlight and focus on pediatrics and go back to school and, what she went to school for. And I mean, Raquel has kind of been all about James. She came on the show as James's girlfriend, and we've seen her grow and mature the past few years and find her voice. And this season, it was all about Raquel learning to stand up for herself and public speak. And I'm glad that we're seeing this growth with Raquel, and that's why I feel like James and Raquel did need each other so that they could grow, but ultimately, it was not meant to be, and every relationship sometimes has its expiration date, and James and Raquel's relationship definitely ended 2 months ago, and now there's been so many articles since and new breaking news. So James went to Las Vegas over the weekend with some friends to celebrate his 30th birthday, and he posted on Instagram a new girl, a mystery woman, was spotted hanging out with him. They were holding hands. And I mean, this mystery woman looks a little familiar to me. She may or may not be my friend. And I mean, I think that James is, just kind of casually dating this mystery woman. But Raquel does not seem to be too happy about it. Raquel was very upset to see James moving on so quickly, in her own words, as she responded to a fan's comment on her Instagram. And she even decided to throw herself an unengagement party last night while watching the Vanderpump Rules reunion with Scheana, Ariana, and some of her other friends. During the unengagement party, Raquel popped an engagement ring balloon. She also was drinking alcohol getting a little turned out of penis straws, just really trying to get closure on James and the whole situation since James seems to be moving on. And I feel like I'm not mad at Raquel because I know that she wants closure. It's been a long season for her. But I also don't think that she has any right to be mad at James for moving on. I mean, they have ended their engagement over 2 months ago. If you watch the reunion, it was amicable. They both were mature. They both seemed so over the relationship and that they're moving on and there really isn't any bad blood between them. So, I mean, you really can't expect James not to move on, and Raquel has every right to move on as well. It's not like they are trying to get back with each other, and they're still on friendly terms. And even though this whole unengagement party happened, I believe they still are on, you know, friendly terms, and they kind of just want to move on amicably. So, I mean, listen, Vanderpump Rules Reunion Part 2 is happening tonight. We're gonna learn a lot more about Lala on tonight's reunion, seeing what really went down in her relationship with Randall. Tom and Tom are going to get into the whole restaurant thing with Katie sticking her nose in, and maybe we'll, you know, hear more about James and Raquel's breakup. I forgot to mention, Raquel did give the ring back during the reunion. Isn't that crazy that she gave it back? I mean, I feel like you guys can, you know, let us know in the comments, is that the right thing to do, to give the ring back? They were engaged for what, maybe 5 months. They broke up 2 months ago. I mean, she gave it back. He accepted it. He said he was going to sell it. I know he's still planning on selling it. He has not sold it yet. But, I mean, I don't know. I mean, what would you guys do? Let us know in the comments. Would you sell the ring if you were Raquel? I mean, she wasn't obligated to give it back, but I also understand why she gave it back, to kind of let that chapter of her life go. Let us know your thoughts and takeaways from the Vanderpump Rules Reunion Part 1, and be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring that bell so you never miss out on any future videos. As always, I'm your host, Zachary Reality. You guys can follow me down below at Zachary Reality, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!